Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. My name is Arizal Akbar, and in this video is for fulfilling the midterm test assignment under Mr. Muhammad Chandra's course, Professional Speaking. And I will be talking about AI in education, the implementation of AI to be specifically, and more specifically, the impacts on students. Let me start with the questions. Does the implementation of AI is revolutionary or a threat for student creativity? Let me elaborate. It's no stranger for us that AI had become one of the most mainstream or major things that happens to us over the past few years. By just 2024, in the Google surveys, the data already gathered that by 2024, AI user has been increasing up to 314.4 million users worldwide. 300, more than 300 million. Wow, that's a lot of users. And make it to specify things that AI is being used by pretty much every single people, by everyone. I'm using AI, you're perhaps using AI. And that doesn't mean that students don't use AI, right? That's why I'm making this video. That's why I bring up this topic. In today's teaching and learning process, teachers and students are allowed or being pushed to be able to adapt of using artificial intelligence in the process. Why? Because it's helpful. It can help with many things. For teachers, it could help with many administrative uh, stuff, but for students specifically, it would help them and assisting them in order to finish their assignments. If not, help them to answer some questions that they don't understand from, of course, from a knowledge that they already just gained from school. They just got out of the class and they don't understand some specific topics, so they decided to ask AI to elaborate about it, and then they would understand. It sounds like AI gives or brings a lot of positive impacts and positive outcomes for us, especially for students. But mind you that even with those good things, positive things, AI can bring some negative things. And that's why I bring up the topic with the questions before. Is it a revolutionary or a threat with creativity? Why did I bring creativity? Here's how AI works actually, to simplify things. This is an AI, and I am a student. I try to ask AI about AI. Can you explain to me what is capital city? And I will ask, and then after I ask that, AI will explain with a lot of answers that you can customize with your own preferences depending on how much information that you wanted to know from your questions. And I will elaborate every single one of them. It's easy to gain knowledge nowadays using AI, but here comes the trickiest part. For student situations, student needs to be able to grow or to improving their cognitive skills, their brainstorming skills in order to think critically and creatively. Overdependency on AI could cause and could lead into a very, very dangerous path for students because it would damage their brain, not damage in as in it will make their brain go poof. No, but they don't even have the opportunity to train their brain in order to think critically, to think creatively, or even to brainstorm some ideas. Because they are overusing AI to do the work for them. And their brain is not trained as they supposed to be, as they should be. The brain is in the motion of, oh, I don't understand what is this. I don't even wanted to bother to think about this. Let me just ask AI. It will explain to me everything. Laziness. because they're already lazy to think about it with themselves, with their own ideas. Being able to generate or to brainstorm an idea is a very expensive skills to have. And if students don't train their brain in order to think critically, in order to brainstorm ideas, because of they're over depending on AI to do the hard job for them, where's the creative part of it? Where's the uniqueness of human if AI took control of everything and every single thing that has to do with thinking? I just remember I read the data, I found the data saying here, by study by UAC Foundation, that 55% of students are worried that AI will decreasing their self-confidence to think independently. 55% of students are afraid and worried that their ability to think independently is being threatened by AI. Because why? Because there is no such thing as original ideas. If AI just kept giving it to us, if AI just kept giving the answers to the students, there's no original idea from the students if the student always got it from AI. Don't you think like that? So that is why it is a very dire serious situations that AI had become right now, of how AI had been controlling the students' learning process. Although you might be helpful for them, it can assist them in some part, but if they're open depending in it, they are not even depending on their self. Let me ask with another question. If an AI could write a poetry, then where is the uniqueness of humans if AI can do that? Why do I ask this question? Well, again, it might sound corny, but we talk about creativity here and art. Poetry is one part from art because what makes art art is because the uniqueness of it, because of how the message are being sent, because it's between the feelings of humans. It does not being generated by machines, but it's through humans, through their thinking, through their brains, by using their hearts. They're pouring their hearts in order to make or to write such poetry, in order to send some messages for the readers. And if a poetry is being made by AI, by a machine, that they're not even making it, they're just generating it by copying this and this and that, it's just soulless. And you also can feel that. Now that we already gathered information about how dire the situations are, because the situation of students over relying on AI to do the critical thinking for them is very difficult. But maybe to mitigate it or to find a solution for it, maybe let's start with whenever we get an answer from AI, from the machine, the answers that they generate for us, don't just stop there. Start to asking more questions about it until you understand, because in the teaching learning process, in order to scale it, whether or not the teaching and learning process is being successful or not, it's not by you remembering it or even copying and pasting it, but how could you understand the material or the knowledge that you're being given. Start to think critically, start to asking some question, because the more that you're asking questions, the more that you will understand, because you're not gonna just stop there, because it makes you want to know more, it makes you understand more. And I guess that's all for this video, and I hope that you as the viewers will learn something from it, and if it's very helpful and also meaningful for you, don't forget to always think critically. And I think that's all for me. My name is Arizal Akbar, and goodbye.